how's it going, guys? I hope you're having a great NFL Sunday, a great Breaking Bad Sunday, a great chicken bowl soup Sunday, whatever you're doing with your Sunday particularly today. But I wanted to make a special video because it's the eve of my 20th birthday. I'm no longer a teenager. Holy shit. But just to give back to you guys, because you guys, the people who are out there who watch my videos, I really do appreciate your viewership, and I don't get that much viewership, but I mean, I do appreciate everything I do get from you guys, I really do, because to even have an audience at all just stuns me. So, in the eve of the Manning versus Manning game today, let's go G-Men. I already have a top 10 of the year accumulated from the spring on, because a lot of good movies did come out this year so far. Some disappointments, but we're going into the time where the Oscars are glowing and movies are just very emphasized with the quality. So without further ado, this is going to be my top 10 most anticipated for the rest of the year. Number 10, I had to add a comedy into this, was Bad Grandpa, which stars Johnny Knoxville as that character from Jackass, and little kid who you might recognize from what I recognize him from, Fun Size, which is this very inappropriate Nickelodeon movie. Bad Grandpa is number 10 because I love when raunchy comedies take that outlook of going into a real life scenario and pulling pranks. And I mean, Johnny Knoxville is a recognizable figure in Hollywood and in movies in general, but I mean, without a second glance, you wouldn't know that's Johnny Knoxville. So, I mean, if they execute this movie right, it's gonna be no Jackass, obviously, but I think it'd be a really fun time at the movies. Number 9 on my list is 12 Years a Slave, which is supposedly, from recent reviews, the new generation's Schindler's List, which is really putting a movie on a pedestal, but I'm looking forward to it because it's supposed to be one of the biggest buzzes for the Oscar times. It's got a lot of good actors in the roster. I'm not going to enjoy watching it because it looks like it's going to be very brutal with the subject matter of slavery. It's going to have a lot of high buzz at the Oscars, so why not be excited for it? Number 8 on my list is American Hustle, directed by David O. Russell, who directed previously The Fighter and Silver Linings Playbook last year. Some people love Silver Linings Playbook, I didn't, but I enjoyed both to a very, very high extent. This movie I'm looking forward to a lot more though because it takes place in the 70s, and some of my favorite movies ever take place in the 70s or were made in the 70s. It could be one of the best movies of the year. Number 7 is Gravity, directed by the guy who made the third Harry Potter movie. That's what people know him for. That's what I know him for. Gravity appears to be a film that could break new ground for cinema in general, and performances could be very Oscar worthy. The film itself looks like something that just looks remarkable. I mean, people in my theater all the time laugh at the concept of this film. And why do you laugh at the concept? It's two people stuck in space, and the way it's shot, where there's very long takes, well, that's what I heard, it's going to be a lot of long takes without cutting away. Take notes, Michael Bay and other action directors out there. But it just looks like a very intense film, which takes a lot of work from like Stanley Kubrick and all the sci-fi pioneers of the last 20-30 years and making something new for this generation, and it could be a very special film, especially in IMAX. Number 6 is Rush, directed by Ron Howard. First of all, I love Ron Howard as a director. Second off, it just looks like a very good movie. It's getting rave reviews as of late, and I'm not big on the subject matter of NASCAR and racing, but just the intensity of the characterization, the interactions, and this rivalry, it might be one of those movies I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I loved it. My expectations so far are very mild, but it could be a great movie, just saying. Number 5 is Catching Fire, the second film in the Hunger Games franchise. Now, the reason why this is so high on my list is because it's getting a lot of hype. Christian Harloff of the Schmo said it's like the Empire Strikes Back of this particular franchise. Also, people say it's the best book of the series. And I gave the first film a good review. I said it was good, but it's not a great movie. This movie apparently will be a great movie, and I love movies like this in the fall. I mean, Harry Potter took the reign for a long time in the fall with their films, and then they moved to the summer for the last few. I am very excited for this just because it could be a very impactful film in pop culture. Number 4 on my list is The Wolf of Wall Street, directed by one of my all-time greats, Martin Scorsese. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio. It has Jonah Hill in there with another supporting role, much like with Moneyball. It has a lot of great actors on the roster, and I mean, the trailer gives off the impression that it has a lot of comedy in it, but it's going to be like a dark comedy with a lot of drama mixed into it going towards the second half of the film. That's my prediction. I can go into incredible detail why I'm so excited for The Wolf of Wall Street, but I got 2 reasons for you. 1. New York City location. 2. Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese, whenever he directs a movie, his film should be on your radar whether you're a movie buff or not. So, let's get excited for it. Number 3 is Anchorman 2. Now, we all have obvious reasons to be excited for this sequel, but if you look into the past, Caddyshack, Hangover, Dumb and Dumber, their sequels bombed. But if it lives up to the hype, then this is going to be one of the greatest times in the movie theater ever. And I hope to have a very fun time laughing with this movie. I hope to God it doesn't suck, but it could. But it's Anchorman 2, so that's why it's in my top 3. Fucking lamps. I love them. Number 2 is another sequel. This one's a Marvel sequel, a big blockbuster coming out in November, Thor: The Dark World. All I have to say is that I'm a big fan of Marvel. I love the characters that they've installed into cinema from the comic book lore, and they've done such a good job of bringing these characters to life. And the first one, I enjoyed heavily the first time around. After that, not so much. It's a good movie, but I don't love it anymore. I used to love it when I first saw it. Perhaps this time around we'll actually feel the dangerous stakes of the characters, because in the first film there was no stakes. This film has Alan Taylor directing it. And if you watch Game of Thrones, all I'll say is death. It could be great. And my number 1 most anticipated movie of the fall is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, directed by Ben Stiller. I never thought I would mention the words directed by Ben Stiller when speaking of a very serious drama. I say that because this movie, even though there's some dry, very minuscule humor in the trailer, it looks to be a very serious movie. He's an everyday average man who goes to work every day, but he likes to think big, who really just goes above and beyond with his imagination. If the trailer is any indication of what the movie's gonna be like, I'm gonna love this film. I'm not a fan of Monsters and Men, but the way that song Dirty Paws was utilized in the trailer was genius. This looks to be the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for Ben Stiller, and I say that because Jim Carrey was in that movie, and before that, he was he had some serious roles, but he was a very comedic actor. It's coming out on Christmas Day, and it could be a very awesome Christmas gift. Those are the films I'm looking forward to most this fall, but I want to know what you guys are looking forward to this fall. What are your top 5, top 10? What's your most anticipated movie of the rest of the year? Thor 2, Walter Mitty, Catching Fire, Rush, Carrie. I don't know why I mentioned Carrie, but whatever you're looking forward to, let me know. What do you guys think? If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe if you're a newcomer and you're new to MaffmanJones. Also check out Facebook, Twitter, and We Live Film in the Info Box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.